Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Aries season. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your April 2020 reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am so excited for Aries season. A lot is happening even between like now and April, right? Now and like the very first day of April. We have already had the sun enter into Aries. We have a new moon in Aries. We have Mars and Saturn both entering into Aquarius and doing a conjunction there. And there's just like a lot of movement moving forward in the next like week or so, so a lot could really happen. And then as we make our way through April, things are still, there'll be connecting with the things in Capricorn, and there'll be a square with Pluto and Jupiter and all that kind of stuff. But I think as we begin is probably going to be more of a big bang kind of energy. So let's go ahead and dive into these cards for you. Very first card that comes out is the Page of Coins, if I can pick it up. Okay, Page of Coins. Now we like a Page of Coins because it's kind of slow moving. It's a little bit more relaxed. It's very patient. There's an element of purity coming through here and a feeling of self-confidence, but humble, right? It's confident but humble. And I think your humility and the purity of your energy field is going to be very important for you this month. Aries is such a magical time. It is the time for us to really start planting new seeds. And I think in the realm of career, in the realm of our spirituality, it's good to really set sights on things, start aiming for things. Because as Saturn and Mars come together, it kind of gives us that structure with the action that we need. So when we have goals, right, we'll have that wherewithal to actually go for it. Yeah, let's actually jump into the next card. The environment for you guys is the Magician. Now, to have the environment be magical like this, it's so important that you pay attention to your energy field and what energy you are really emitting. Because when Saturn and Mars come together, it's going to set off a new tone for the upcoming year. And if there's negativity in your energy, if there's doubt, and if there's kind of like Debbie Downerness and like bitterness, then all these wonderful intentions that you want for yourself will be packaged with the negativity. And it's like they'll go forward together. So maybe you'll still achieve things, but there's also likely bitterness that will also grow. So you have to ensure that your energy is pure and that your intentions are untainted. Okay? Because if you send out tainted things, tainted intentions, it can backfire. And because of the air-like quality of both Gemini and Aquarius and the less dense, fire of Aries, things happen quickly. We've come out of so much earth. I mean, we still have a lot of earth with Taurus and Capricorn going on right now, but with Mars moving into an air sign, things they just move so fast. Like with Capricorn energy, it's like, it's more of a push going through really dense, heavy earth material, but air is just like boom, like that. So you have to be careful of what you're doing. You have to be conscious of your vibration, conscious of what your mind is saying and what your emotions are feeling, and do what you can to help alleviate things. If you're still feeling the heaviness of the 8th house stuff, which likely many of you are, it's probably best to just chill. Okay, to just chill out and do what you can to purge, go through a catharsis, do some kind of ceremonies to help purge the things, because you just really, really want to ensure that your new intentions are pure. Okay. Now, I've had a lot of comments the past several months of people wanting to see the cards when I'm talking about them. So I'm going to put a picture over here so you can see the 9-card block, so you can see how everything is situated in relation to each other. And then we'll put the camera down at the end like we normally do. You guys got a double dose of the Page of Coins. So not only are you coming out as the Page of Coins, but, just moving in, it's Page of Coins like I say, it's quiet, it's gentle, it's purposeful, it's patient, it's very lamb-like. And I think the energy of the lamb is becoming quite prominent in Aries season. rather than like the butting heads, aggressive ram-like energy. And I think the Aquarian Mars is actually amplifying the softness of Aries season, which is really great, because it's not an aggressive time. It's not a time of warfare or of, getting in fights with people or trying to prove, how right you are about things. It's just time to only just focus on you, keep your head down, and do the things that you really need to do. Because the reading, there are some intense cards, right? We get strength, we get the Tower, we get the Emperor. And strength is great to have. It's good to be strong and to be courageous. But, you got to be strong. Like when this card comes out, it means you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have a strong will. And that might be standing up to someone or, really being clear about your standards. It might be that you're going to have a situation where you're going to need to, move on or invite someone in if that's something that's hard for you, right? Maybe it's the energy of change. Maybe you're going to have to change a little bit, Gemini. I don't know. It's going to manifest differently for every one of you. But the Strength card does indicate that you're going to have to be strong, like base level. And you're going to have to put your ego aside. You're going to have to elevate yourself out of your ego and operate from the higher self realm. Because if you don't, it could get hard. Your relations with people, the way you communicate with people, it could be challenging. And you could feel things slipping out of your control. So the next card we get is the King of Swords reversed. Now, this could be your energy, Gemini. You feeling a little bit out of sorts. You feeling out of control. You feeling like you are, things are slipping through your fingers, or feeling like it's not really a potential for you. That's why the Page of Coins had to come out twice, because, you have to keep in mind, you have to remember that it's about the one day at a time. A King of Swords really likes to think high strategy. He likes to think big. He likes to see things all at once in kind of one big chunk. But the Page of Coins has to tone it down. So it's the balance between the two, because I don't know that the big picture is really going to be able to sustain itself. I just don't think it can. I don't think it has claws to do that. It has no hooks. So the one day at a time, and any kind of self-doubt that you have, any kind of negative speak that you have going on, and anything that you're really doing to feed the ego is really just feeding the beast. This is not about feeding your ego, guys. It's not about telling yourself how awesome you are, or how deserved you are, or how much of anything you are. It's not about deserving. It's not about being so awesome. It's about being happy, It has nothing to do with ego stuff here. And some Geminis might get hit hard with that. If you're dealing with a Gemini, they could be trying to feed the beast, which is the ego, They could be trying to feed the beast. And the more they try to feed the beast, the more likely they are to be slipping away from you at the same time. I think because of all the Capricorn stuff, Gemini has been hit the hardest. And I keep saying it. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be a broken record or anything. But I mean, just facts, right? Capricorn's facts. And Gemini has had to learn a lot about themselves. They've had to go really deep. They've had to do deep soul analysis. And some Geminis just simply aren't handling it well, while other Geminis are handling it well, but they're still trying to figure out these new identities. Like, okay, it's great that you can transform, but what happens after the transformation is complete? It takes a while to adjust to this new self. And I think some Geminis really are trying to figure out really where they fit. And it's going to be, it's going to be a thing for them to figure it out. And it's going to be a thing for them to watch the things that no longer match their vibration dissipate into the past. And so there's a lot of clear space for Gemini right now. There's a lot of open, storage area that needs to get filled up with new things. And some Geminis are not handling it well. Others are just sitting there being like, I don't know what to fill up. I don't know what to put in here. I don't know who to associate with now. I don't know who I can be friends with. I don't know who I can trust. And, it's just a matter of time before you start getting comfortable with where you're going. Now, one thing in the next row here, we see in the very center the Tower, and we see the Fool card. I had to pull these out together because the directionality of the Fool jumping away from the Tower is very important. There is going to be a tendency for some Geminis, not all of them, but for some Geminis to just pretend like nothing even happened, to pretend like the change isn't happening, to pretend like they're not a different person. That's the people who are really going to be feeding the ego a lot, and they're going to be stroking themselves, and they're going to be, patting themselves on the back for how awesome they are. And yet, from the outside looking in, it's like chaos, But then there's the Geminis who go through the Tower moments, who go through the major changes. And this is a Scorpionic card, by the way. It is a card of Mars, and it is associated with the archetype of Scorpio, which is relevant because of the 8th house stuff that you've been recently going through. We still have Jupiter. He'll be coming into conjunction with Pluto. So when it comes to our wisdom, some people are going to self-destruct and other people are going to, take flight. So it's going to depend on the person. This is an individual by individual basis. And others are going to take this Tower stuff and they're going to let it set them free. It's hard to do readings like this because it all depends on the individual. It all depends on their ability to see what's going on. It depends on their own individual level of consciousness. People who are really high level consciousness, who are doing the work, who are, going deep within themselves, they will find liberation in Aquarius season. And I think all air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, all of them, they will benefit from Saturn and Aquarius a lot because it's going to be that trining energy. Or, for you, it'll be trining, right? And that trine is such a harmonious aspect. It's so beautiful. It's so easy flowing. So the wonderful structure of Saturn over the next couple of years is going to be giving into, focus, helping you focus, helping you achieve, helping you to have that structure and the wherewithal and the ambition to actually go do the things you've been saying you were going to go do for the past several years. And the Fool is the either the choice to run away from something or the choice to take the Tower stuff and wear it gratefully and with appreciation and carry it with you in your little knapsack here as like lessons learned. There are going to be a lot of Geminis who don't learn the lessons, and that's unfortunate, but it's the case, I'm just hesitating because I really thought that a lot of this harsher energy for Gemini was going to be over. I genuinely did. But it is here in the cards. And I just think that maybe people, they don't like who you're becoming, Gemini. And they don't like how you're evolving. And it's not something you can really help. It's not something you can really go, you can't turn back the clock and just not do the changing. You can't stop life from happening. And so you're kind of at this weird place of just being forced to let things go. I don't know how happy that really makes you. I don't know that you have any emotion toward it. It's kind of just what is. What needs to be gone is gone. What needs to stay will stay. And I think the magic of the Magician, remember this the second card that I pulled out? It has to do with matching frequencies. The things that match your new higher vibration will stay, and the things that don't will leave. Unfortunately, it might be really hard to know and to realize that the things that you once thought you wanted no longer match your frequency. And you may feel shortchanged. You may feel like life kind of gave you the boot a little bit, but it didn't. I was thinking about doing a video about, loss, because we all go through substantial loss multiple times in our life. And the goal is to really see it as a blessing. Now, very bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor energy reversed. I don't like this triangular, or diagonal, Tower, Emperor reversed, King of Swords reversed. I don't like this. Clearly, there's a relationship in your life, there's a person or there's an institution in your life that you simply cannot agree with anymore. You simply cannot vibrate on the same wavelength anymore. It just simply cannot. You simply cannot do it. You're too high vibe here. And I think there's someone in your sphere that kind of brings out a part of you that you don't like very much, that you don't want to feel these feelings anymore. You don't want to have this mindset anymore. And that's why I was saying you have to make sure that before you plant new seeds, that you are sending out pure energy, because this is heavy stuff. Okay, it's heavy. And if you plant the new seeds with this stuff still lingering, it will get packaged together and it will send out, and good things can still happen with the pure intention that you had, but with the negative stuff that was packaged with it will also come back around. There is a karmic quality that could be going on here, especially with a relationship like this. Now, it doesn't have to be your romantic partner, okay? It could be, a father, or like I say, an institution, or it could be you separating from your culture and really realizing that the culture or the country that you grew up in might not really be most conducive to your happiness and joy. That's also a possibility. Changes on all front. But this is the thing that's got to go. This is the thing that's got to go, because it's officially preventing you from maximizing the benefit of the magician. As the sun squares later on in Aries season, it will come into a square with Jupiter and Pluto, and then as it enters into Taurus, it will do a square with Saturn and Aquarius, and then it will connect with Uranus. And I have a feeling that it might not happen at the beginning of April, but it will maybe happen at the end of April, where things start to get a little bit strange. And it just has to be let go, because I don't know that you have the faith. The strength, I'm sorry. Remember the strength card that came out? And the strength here really is to stop the fighting. The strength here is to stop the trying. Remember how I was saying that some Geminis are going to get caught up in stroking their egos? And some people are going to bang their head against the wall trying to convince themselves that in this weird King of Swords, Emperor situation that's clearly gone off the rails, that they're the ones that are right. And they're going to spend so much energy convincing the world and trying to convince this other person how right they are and how special they are and how this other person should absolutely be I don't think most of the Geminis watching this video are going to do that. But if you're dealing with a Gemini who's doing with it, I just wouldn't even play that game. It's too toxic for you, and it's probably best for you to really just walk away and just call it quits, because this Ten of Swords stuff it's just not worth it, because any effort put into it just makes someone a martyr. Right? Now, Gemini, this could be flip-flopped as well, where you could be dealing with someone who's doing that ego stroking thing. I'm not saying you're definitely doing it. It's just someone is. Someone is doing it. And the Ten of Swords is saying stop, because you're just not going to align. You just don't agree. It's just going to create more chaos if you try. It's just going to create more problems if you try. Remember the lamb part of the Aries archetype. We have the ram with the horns, and we have the little lamb part of it. So this is about operating like the lamb, not the ram. Okay, not like the big horned sheep that's going to go and butt heads with people. That is going to be fruitless. Absolutely fruitless. The people who win, the Geminis who win this month, are the Geminis who let it go, who evolve, who understand what their own evolution has really been all about. Now, whatever this situation was, whatever the connection, there are lessons to be learned, as always. And the Page of Coins is always the forever student. And you, Gemini, you're the forever student. Always love to learn, always like to connect new dots and to see things from new perspectives. It's like such a beautiful gift that you have. And yet somehow there's a circumstance where you feel like you're boxed in. That's not a Gemini thing. Being boxed in is not your scene, right? Like why is this here? Why is this like this, So don't allow yourself to get boxed in, because, air signs especially just really, really hate that confinement. They need their freedom. It's so important. And here we have this, chaos and arguing and competitiveness and I'm better than you and I'm smarter than you and I'm this better than that and I know more, and this is like, ugh, it's not worth it. Like, there's no benefit to that nonsense at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the oracle cards, which I just went ahead and pulled out. Man holding a coin. He looks kind of like, what's that weird model from like the 80s? Fabio, like with the blonde hair. He looks kind of like that. But, you know, he has the treasure. You have the coin, you guys. You hold the treasure. You are the gold mine. I had this talk with Taurus twice. They got 2 gold mine readings, and that's a big part of you because that's your 12th house consciousness, right? You're the gold mine, your ideas, your heart, your energy. That is the money magnet. That is the thing that is going to attract the abundance and happiness and joy that you want. You have the treasure. Now, you have to make, like I say, it's the seeds. You have to plant pure seeds. You have to plant pure seeds. If you don't feel ready to let something go and to clarify your energy or to clean up the negativity, if you don't feel ready, that's okay. Just keep going about your life. Just keep doing things. You know, you don't have to go change everything right now. You don't have to put all this extra effort in making your life so different. Just do everything the way it normally is. Okay? Because eventually this kind of drama stuff will fade. Things will kind of fall away, and then you will feel more ready to utilize the magician energy, which is not Aries season specific, right? I mean, magician energy is constant. It's always. It's just a matter of when you consciously try to use it. So yeah, if you focus on healing, if you focus on becoming whole, if you focus on the joy. Now, the astrology card you got was the Black Moon Lilith mystery card, which I love the Black Moon Lilith energy because she's so powerful, so unapologetic, and she just has this whole vibe about her that's like, I am what I am and I don't care what you think. And I'm wondering if a lot of Geminis are really just going to stop caring what people think, you know? And but don't be surprised if other people stop caring what you think too. You know, I think a lot of you are going to be throwing out the rule book, throwing out the way that everyone told you that it should be done, and starting from scratch, you know, and that's your power. That's what's so beautiful. I really, really love this about you. I just have to also point out that the coin that this guy is holding is like one of those Chinese coins, like those good luck coins that you can buy. So there is an element of good luck coming for you. Now, the tower is never bad, you know. It always is a necessary modality of, you know, facilitating. It's the catalyst for change. So it's not bad. It's not, you know, anything to be afraid of. But, you know, the more you try to fight it, the more intense it can be. If you don't fight the tower and you just walk away, like this Fool energy is either, you know, in total denial of it or taking it with them and moving forward, it's seamless and you probably might not even notice that it's even happening. So it's going to be an interesting month, and there will be some Geminis that come out of, you know, they emerge from Aries season just a completely new, refreshed, beautiful person. And then other Geminis are going to emerge like really just feeling the weight of a lot of their decisions on their shoulders. And kind of, I'm even getting an image of like being kind of hunched over, just feeling that heaviness there. So you might see something going on with your Gemini lately. But the choice is theirs on how they handle it, you know? All right, let's go ahead and put this camera down, and we'll talk about the comprehensive cards. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things that come out. All right, so I'll see you in just a sec. Okay, Gemini. So I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. I'm going to take these 2 cards and I'm going to clarify them with the same deck here. So this is called the Light Seers deck for those of you who are interested. Focusing on the Page of Coins, what additional information does Gemini need to know about really where they're at? If you can stay here, guys, you're winning, like big time. If you can stay in that Page of Coins place, you will win and emerge successful, 100%. The Lovers, see what I mean? There's your card, that's you, man. The Lovers in total unity. Oh, 8 of Coins. Amazing. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at this Magician now. The Ace of Swords, wonderful for an air sign. The purity of mind, the clarity, and the Two of Swords. Let's do one more for the Magician energy. Okay, and the Ten of Swords. So we kind of have two Ten of Swords cards coming out, which does signify that something has to be laid to rest, for sure. Some issue, some problem, some conflict, it needs to come to a close, okay? It really, really does. So now we're going to take this deck here and we're going to start clarifying the rest of these cards. For those of you who want to, hear what we're going to talk about, we usually talk for another 20 to 25 minutes about these cards in the comprehensives. The link will be down in the description box down below. So another Page of Coins. Let's see what else about that. Okay. Yeah, don't try so hard this month, guys. Hold on, we got a whole bunch here. You guys know I don't really like to take out too many, but since they flipped over, we'll take them. Take a look at the Strength card. Well, the Inner Knowing. Another Fool. You guys, I think the temptation to be petty could get really high. The temptation to fire back, to spit back, the temptation to fight back, it's going to be really strong. And I just don't see it working out for you or anybody. I just don't see it. Pettiness is not the winner here. Not by a million miles. Look at this Tower card. Okay, we've got Five of Coins reversed. We got the Knight of Swords. Five of Coins. Wow, 3 Ten of Swords cards. The issue's dead. It's dead. It's moot. There's no point in talking about it anymore. Not even like one little second. Five of Wands. 3 of Coins reversed. Page of Wands. Another Two of Swords mirroring this card here. Okay. A lot of cards came out for you guys. I try not to pull out so many, but sometimes if they fall out, we grab them. So, all right, so this is where we'll pick up for the comprehensive. If you guys want to join, again, that link will be down below. Thank you guys so much for everything. Have an excellent Aries season. Take care.